Alright, so in this tutorial I'm going to take you through the calendar feature. Now the calendar is where most of the time you will spend, between the dashboard and the calendar, you'll spend most of the time during a day in the property. So the calendar allows you to quickly and easily see kind of what's going on with all of your reservations, allows you to create courtesy holds, room blocks, allows you to move rooms and things around to open up spots that may or may not be available from initially seeing it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So we're going to take you through a little bit of the full calendar view. So obviously you can look over here, you can always have an option of adding direct or third-party reservations. Across the top, you have the option to choose the dates for the calendar that you're going to see. It's obviously going to default to the main one. You can see here that you have the option to search for certain rooms. So you have a room search, and then you have an assignments button, which I'll talk about in a second. There's two different ways to assign rooms. And just to note, by default, when a reservation comes into my front desk, whether it's from an OTA like Booking.com or Expedia, or it's a direct reservation, all of them do not get assigned a room. It does update availability. So if you had 4 rooms available and you have a reservation come in, now you only have 3 rooms available, and that will update availability in all the different locations. It's all dynamic, from the OTAs to your booking engine to here within the system on the calendar. So let me show you across the top. So you have across the top, you'll see these little circles with zeros, and this one has a red 3. The red just means it's today. It means that there's 3 rooms that need to be assigned. So availability is already taken, but there's 3 rooms that I need to assign. You can see the dates across just below that, and then obviously the percentage of occupancy. If you look a little bit over here on the left-hand side, you'll see all the different room types. So in this case, for this property, we have 2 different room types, okay? And you can also select to basically toggle between that. So I'm going to open up all of them at the moment. Now below each room type, you'll see the individual rooms or individual beds, depending on the type of property you have. So for hostels, it would be beds. For a hotel or a bed and breakfast or one of those types of properties, you will have actual rooms. Now next to that, you're going to see the number 2, which is the availability number. So there's only 2 available for the Wednesday the 15th, and the price. So you can change the price right within the calendar. So let's say, for example, that you're at 80% occupancy on a Friday afternoon, it's Thursday or whatever day it is. You can come in here and change this on the fly to, let's say, $10 more to $189. Confirm the price change, and that confirmation, because of our integration and because of our channel manager, will go to all the OTAs. Because of our booking engine, it'll go to the booking engine and also update here within the direct reservation. So now if I go to make a reservation, it's going to change that price to $189 for that particular night. So now a couple other things to note. First thing is that, like I said, assignments do not happen automatically. The reason that they don't happen automatically within my front desk is that there are a lot of times where, for example, you will have room types or different things set up like this courtesy hold here, where if I tried to do a reservation from this date to this date, it wouldn't let me. Now, the great thing about the calendar is that you can drag and drop and move everything, so that we want you to sign it yourself so you see it, so that you can move and make spaces available for larger or longer reservations. So let's talk about assignments really quickly. So the 2 ways that you can assign rooms is you can click on the number 3 or any of the options when there's a number. So this shows that there's 3 rooms that need to be assigned. And you can see here for Friday, July 17th, here are the 3 rooms. You click on the room, and you'll notice that it automatically kind of chooses, you'll see with the shadow here, what it thinks it should assign it for. So it's automatically going to assign it to that room type and room. Now you can move it. It will give you, messages if you want to move it to a different type or a different price or things like that. I'll show you that. But let's just go ahead and assign it. Usually you're just going to assign it really quickly and easily. Okay, so we've assigned all of those. You can also click there to choose other dates if you wanted to assign multiple dates at a time. Once you're in the assignment mode, though, you can't actually click on other things. So you want to make sure you close out of the assignments. And now you can see that let's make sure that all of mine are assigned. You can see that I have Jim Johnson in 2 rooms up here for Deluxe Queen and 1 room down here on Deluxe King. Okay, let me show you a little bit about what the colors mean. So if we scroll down to the legend here, blue means confirmed. So that means a reservation is coming in and hasn't been checked in yet, but it's a confirmed reservation. Confirmation pending, which is this light green, basically means that they're pending confirmation. So maybe you have a deposit and you're waiting to get the deposit. Maybe you said that they'll pay at the location, so you're waiting for them to pay before you confirm. You can use those however you want, but usually it's only specify that color if it's pay at location in the payment types for the reservation. Green means in-house, which means checked in. Gray means basically checked out, so they've now been checked out. Red means out of service, so this would be something, for example, a block date because of painting or room reservation or, room renovation or something like that. You can also do blocked dates, which have kind of these, you can see here for staff lodging, for any reason you want to block out availability for those particular dates. And then blue here is a courtesy hold. So a courtesy hold is obviously, it will hold that space for a certain period of time. So let me show you in this courtesy hold, for example. If I was to edit it, you'll see that you just put the first and last name, email, phone number, and the length of the hold, which in this case is an hour. Okay, so they have a length of the hold for an hour. The way to create any of these reservations is on the calendar, is by clicking once and clicking a second time on the date where you want them to. So basically, date of check-in, date of checkout. And you can see here that it's going to give you the dates up at the top. It's going to give you the total price for that. So if someone calls on the phone and asks you what would it cost me for this particular room for these days, you can quickly and easily do that. It gives you the option of creating a third-party reservation, a direct reservation, a courtesy hold, which I just showed you, or to do block dates. And there's two different, like I just talked about, two different types of block dates. One is out of service, so maybe there's it's the red one, there's a specific reason that it's out of service, you're not selling it. The other one would be a block date because of maybe it's staff or family, or you just don't want to sell that weekend, or you're going out on vacation, whatever the reasons for, you can have different options for blocking those dates on the calendar. Okay, so now what we can do is, one of the things that you can also do on the calendar is you can move all these reservations around. So if I wanted to move this reservation for Jim Johnson to actually a couple days later, you're going to notice that it's going to give me some messages. And here's the reason. The reason is that I'm moving the dates. I'm also, in some ways, moving the prices. And so it's kind of a big change in this case. So it's asking me if I want to override the following dates to a whole new set of dates. I'm going to say cancel at this point. But if I was the room to move this from a deluxe king to a deluxe queen, so let's say they wanted to be all next to each other and the deluxe queens are on the same floor, you can see here that from the deluxe queen at $179, it's $10 more to move it to the deluxe queen, because I raised the price. So I can either confirm the upcharge, which puts it in the reservation and changes the room assignment, or I can override it and say, no, I want to keep them at their current price. Okay, so once they have moved it, you can see that all three are here on the actual calendar. Anytime you see a star, that means that something has changed. So it means a rate change has happened. So you've changed the price for that particular date. And anytime you see a light red, which you don't see in here, but you can see it down here, that means it's been a room block coming from your room block section. So this is actually a full room block for all the, for everything basically, not just a smaller room block. Both work. You can block them in the calendar and the room blocks. But usually if you're doing a larger interval or you're doing all the rooms, it's a lot easier to do a room block as opposed to doing it just specifically on the calendar.